both hydro, thermal, so many others, yeah, that he will tell you. Okay, okay. Then what we do, Rana, you
Yeah.
can also start talking to them, introduce yourself.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how many students we are having?
So far, 21. Means maybe even 19 because
Okay.
excluding you and me. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah.
And they are all from class 9, as you said, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Fine enough.
Anyone not in class 9 here? Not a Neptune? All are there, right? Okay. Yeah. And
Okay.
what did Kalpana Akka tell you all? That you all must be in the video mode. I don't want to see your DPs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's bad manners, huh? You all should be in your video mode. Yeah. See, Amoga, Divya, they are all in video mode. Others also. Yes, Rana, you
Okay.
can start. Yeah.
Good evening. Good evening to all of
Good
you.
evening. Say good
So,
evening. What happened?
Evening, Anna.
yeah,
Good
that's
evening,
good.
Anna.
That's good. So, I am very happy to see all the bright faces here of all the students. And of course, I'm thankful to Bhaskar Chakravarti ji for giving me this opportunity along with the Parikrma, other officials over here. Uh, I will, what we will do that I will be telling about myself over here. And when I will be telling, so while going through my life or career graph, uh, if you have any question or if you want to know anything in between, you can immediately interrupt me. You can immediately, don't keep any questions or anything you want to know at the end, because at that time we actually lost many of the things. So whenever I am telling something, try to understand that. Any question, immediately stop me, ask me, and then we proceed further, so that it will help you, and try to understand me also, that what you are looking forward basically. So let me tell you, before I go to the starting of my career, right now, I am also teaching class 9 and 10 students of a Delhi-based school through some NGO, and they are in the NIOS, National Institute of Open Schooling board, which I am facing students, or I am delivering almost everyday students like you only. And the best part is this, that I love to interact with you young people who are having a lot of ambitions in your life, who are sometimes lost also in the direction of ambition. So we are there for you to guide. And as well, I am also a coach and mentor for many corporates. So, I am very much, though being a technical professional, I'm very much into this type of mentoring on regular basis. In fact, morning, 4-5 hours back, I had a chemistry class of your standard only for some Delhi-based students. So, I love to interact with you people. And whenever Mr. Chakravarti told me that you have to interact, I was very happy and immediately agreed, because, it adds really a good, interaction, helps each other to know each other and further to grow in our own way of life. So let me start like this, that I am basically an engineer, and I started I am basically from Calcutta as well, and my place of birth is not Calcutta. My place of birth is Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So my father was posted there, and my birthplace was that. And there is a jail called Cellular Jail, which is very famous, exists today itself in Andaman. where at that time or before that, the people who were not actually who were to be punished, who were not in the good eyes of the law or good eyes of the kingdom, they were sent to that jail which is called cellular jail. And there is a basically my father was not in jail, but my father was working there in government of India. But one wing of that cellular jail was a hospital. One wing of the cellular jail was a hospital where I was born. So Andaman and Nicobar Islands, as you know, is a very famous island and nowadays a big tourist spot. So I was there. Subsequently, along with my father, I traveled in many places, many disturbed places of India, where at that time where a lot of commotions going on, a lot of unrest was going on. We reached one day to a place called Kohima in Nagaland, and the second day there was a big blast. I'm talking about, say, 55 to 60 years back incidents from today. And we had to leave immediately that place because there was a big unrest. There was not a very good police system at that time. So gradually we moved, and finally we landed in Calcutta. And Calcutta, where I started my early education and where I did my college also, from a very reputed and from a very distinguished college under Calcutta University at that time. Now it's a autonomous university right now. So I did my engineering in mechanical engineering from that college. And subsequently, it's a very interesting thing for all of you that I joined in the postgraduate course in IIT Kharagpur. I joined in a postgraduate course, but suddenly I got a job. And believe me that I left that postgraduate course and I joined the job because it was the need of my family at that time, number one. And number two, that was the actually very much trained at that time when we were growing up, that immediately after graduation you join to some work so that you start earning. Now my point to you is this, that today the world has changed. Today people think that the more, or the world looks for, especially in India also, that if you are at least doing your post-graduation, at least you will be more established in the professional world. So you people, message for you people is this, that don't fix up your aim, what you want to do, and see the trend, what is going around the world when you are growing. Suppose when you are in class 12, say, today you are in class 9 or 10, after 2 or 3 years you will be in class 12. When you have to really think of whether you will go on which, rather before that, in class 10, 11 only you have to decide that which stream you have to decide, whether you will going for the science stream, whether you will going for the art stream, what you have to do, that you have to decide. Don't force yourself. Think that where you have your knack. Let me tell you one more thing, as because I have moved many places of the world also, the trend is this, that you need not to be a doctor, you need not to be an engineer, you need not to be a such professional. You can also be in the general stream and you can grow from that stream also if you are really having a knack and you are having aptitude on a certain stream. Just don't ignore any profession. All professions are respectable. Depends where you fit in, actually. Depends what is your knack. So all professions are equally respectable. Don't make yourself biased. This is first message to you before I further start to come out with my career graph. So at that time, my aim was to join the job because one was family need, and second was that was a trend at that time, that post-graduation is okay, but getting a job is further okay sort of thing. So I joined, left the post-graduation and joined the job. At that time, you know, there were so many corporates, and I got job in many corporates, private sector, government sector, semi-government sector. Trend was to join in the semi-government sector because they were getting little bit more salary and everything than the government sector. So I joined in a semi-government sector. The name of that organization was Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, which is a PSU, public sector undertaking under Government of India, Ministry of Heavy Industries. And I joined in that company, and I ended my career also in that company. Here, another message for you, that when you are joining somewhere, present trend is that you hop, you browse from one company to another company, you somehow try to more concentrate on your, perhaps the financial part. If I jump, I get more money, I get more responsibility. So these type of factors come in. But fortunately or unfortunately, I continued with the same organization, and that also gives a certain leverage or certain footage of yours in that organization. If you are working for a longer time, you have more credential in that organization. So that is the third message to you, that decide whether you will hop, whether you will browse, or whether you will be sticking to one organization in your career. Now see, why I am telling you that maybe after 1 year, if you are in class 9, maybe after 1 year, you have to decide something about yourself. You have to decide that where you want to go. I know this Parikrma is working very well for all these students, and they have a roadmap for the students also, where you will be placed, how you will be going ahead. Like the school where I am teaching now, they have a roadmap for all the students. That NGO is also having a roadmap for all the students. Whether somebody wants to join in ITI after class 10, they place them in the ITI. If somebody wants to go for higher education, then there is a scope of higher education also with a backup, tutorial. So you have to decide considering your family condition, because I also consider my family condition before taking every decision. So you also have to do. Parikrma might also guide you, but my point is this, that you should know that where you want to go, which area you want to grow, and up to what level of higher education you want to attain, and so that you are established in life. Ultimate aim is to get established in the life of your own choice. Please don't deviate from your choice. That is my best thing. Don't force yourself. I never forced myself. So now that what was going to happen, and then I subsequently joined this organization, and I joined in some place that is Delhi, today's capital, and then suddenly I moved to Northeast. Northeast was very disturbed place at that time. Today it is not so, and there were a lot of disturbance. There were a lot of commotions, and that gave me a lot of learning of patience and tenacity in our life. That whatever you are wanting to do in your professional life, you are not in a position to do the work. I mean to say, the work which is assigned to you, the work which is you are not in a position to do because of some external factors. See, external factors many a times guides in your life. So take care of the external factors. Today, if you even want to become an engineer, suppose, or a doctor, suppose, but there might be so many factors which may not be making you to happen. But don't get disheartened. There are so many factors in the life which actually guide you, which actually makes you a more mature person, which actually makes you to decide in your life, a decisive person in personality. So don't ignore any odds. Odds are there in everybody's life. odds make a person more matured. That is my learning of life. And whenever I had been to those difficult places of Northeast India, those things were not allowing my job to grow. I was initially frustrated, then gradually I found that I have to have my patience. And I will tell you how this patience worked in my future career also. With I was working in some other countries along with Mr. Chakravarti. So I will come to that in a latter part. But for the time being, I just want to tell you that this patience, this tackling the external factors and not getting disheartened with these external negative factors is the part of anybody's life. And it will come to you also. It will come to everybody sitting here, or somebody has experienced, somebody will be facing. But my point is that don't get disheartened. Try to absorb that negative factors and try to guide yourself, or try to drive your own steering accordingly. Nothing is negative. Factors might be negative, but it makes a perfect positive person. And that's what happened in my life, personal life. That's why I'm trying to tell you. So Northeast factors started prevailing in my career, and it was not allowing me to grow, complete my work. But I had to develop my own strategies, how to complete my work. Maybe when there is commotion in daytime, work in night time. Suppose whenever there is commotion in the daytime, work in early morning hours. Task is task, work is work, complete with the external factors. Then I was shifted to, I got transferred in my career. I'm talking about by the company itself, by the organization itself. I came to the eastern part of India, and I worked a long time in eastern part of India, like Bihar, Orissa, West Bengal, and all these places. And there the issues or the factors or the problems were something different. I was opening a project in a place in Bihar. Today it is in Jharkhand. So I was opening a project in a certain place in Bihar, which is today in Jharkhand. When I went to open, few persons came with a motorbike, and they said that you are physically lifted from this place, you are abducted, so you come with us. So they tied my eyes with something, and they allowed me to sit on the back of a bike, and they drove me somewhere where I don't know. And when I entered to that place, I found that it's a very isolated place in a forest area. And they opened my eyes, and I found some person was sitting in front of me, and he started putting some conditions of his own how to complete this project. And what I have to do. See, situation is something different now. Situation is that I have to start a project and complete a project, conditions given by somebody else. And I have to follow that. He is a sort of, let us say, some muscle man of that area. So if I have to survive, I have to follow him. Otherwise they said that you will be finished over a day's time. Now see, my condition was that I have to deliver to my government. I have to follow the rules set by somebody else. Otherwise I am finished. I don't exist. I was not afraid. I said, okay. And believe me, they dropped me back, tying my eyes back to where I was picked up or lifted, whatever you say. And then I completed that project, keeping some of the conditions, not 100%, of course, it was not possible. But at the end of the day, they gave me when I completed the project after almost say 2.5 years. Today that project still exists. It's a power station, and they gave me a warm, send-off party, those people who lifted me at that time. So my point is this, that things are dynamic. Tomorrow, what is going to happen for me, I don't know. Rather, whoever is sitting here, they don't know. So situation should be dynamic. Be ready to accept it. And then decide how you should deliver to your objective. Objective should be clear. Target should be clear. Situation may be different. Whatever you want, you are not going to get it. Take it like this. See, don't think me as a negative person. What I am telling, that situation happens like this. And it is not a negative thing. It is a part of the positivity of the life. The more hassles, the more problems you face, you become more mature to in your personal life. Even if your family becomes happy with you when you are a matured person, to support your family. So accept whatever comes. Okay. Then gradually I went on moving in many places of India, in North India, South India, East, West, all the places I covered because of my career. Finally, again, I came back to Delhi, and in the year of 2007, I think, in the year of 2007, I was permanently posted to a place called Sudan, which is in eastern part of Africa, and where I met Mr. Chakravarti. He was there before me. Now, Sudan, I was there almost for 10 years. I came back on 2016. So almost I was there for 10 years. At that time, we, along with Mr. Chakrabarti also, we faced lot of ups and downs in our life. No infrastructure, no recreation. A country which doesn't have any movie halls, a country which doesn't have any big malls, which is a part of the life today. For us, perhaps we think that if we don't have a mall, we don't have a good movie halls, doesn't make any sense in our life. We will only study, we will only work, but there is no recreation. But the country was like that. But still, we survived happily. We find out our own way to survive. In this country, when I was posted initially, it was a desert country, basically supported, as you know, all around there are deserts. There is not much of economic strength. There is not much of developments in those countries. There is a language gap to work, means with whom you are communicating, you don't know his language. So communication itself, as you know, is a very, very big thing in your life. If you are in a position to communicate, it makes your job done. But if you are not in a position to communicate, it becomes just opposite. You know what you are wanting to do, he is not understanding. What he is trying to tell you, you are not understanding. So what's the way out? You have to, one way out, we find out that we have to learn, or we have to know that what that gentleman on the other side is trying to communicate with you. That is one part. So we started learning their language. At least learning means to the extent of knowing the language and working, facilitating our works. Second point was that there was, as I told you, there was no recreational facility available over there. So we have to find out some recreation, because you know everyone has to survive. You also, whoever is sitting here, you all have to have some recreation in your life, some time, pastime, whatever it is, you have to have, so that you can rejuvenate your own soul. That is a part of rejuvenating your own soul, and that is what is required. It is not so that without recreation you cannot do anything. So we tried to find out that also, some ways out, how to recreate yourself in such an isolated place. Now, one incident happened during my stay. Why I am telling you few incidents? Because it's all lifetime practical experience which we have faced, or I have faced. I was working with a person, with a company over there, who was doing some civil jobs for me, for my company, and suddenly he said that I will not work for you. He was a very powerful person in that country, in the place where I was working. And the rule of the country at that time there was that in that country the rule is this, that first, if they don't like you, they can issue a official police warrant. By that time you can be taken to jail. So first you go to jail and then you fight your case, court and all these things, which is not whatever is the rule in India. It was the rule in that country where I was working. So he issued a warrant against me and I was about to be taken to jail. And we, along with my wife, we had to be underground or have to hide ourselves so that we can fight the legal case hiding. At that time, believe me, Mr. Chakravarti, who is sitting here, he helped me by giving me a shelter, a very isolated remote shelter where nobody was knowing where I was, along with my wife, hiding, excepting for Mr. Chakravarti, who is sitting here. He was knowing where I was. He was sending me food. His wife was sending me food day and night, because we cannot cook, we cannot communicate in phone, we cannot go out, we have to hide ourselves underground. Otherwise, as per the rule of that country, I was supposed to be in the jail first. So this is again another part of the life where you are, see, this doesn't come normally in any of the people who is sitting here in our life. This is something very odd thing happened, unprecedented. I was not knowing it is going to happen, and it happened. So 10 days or 7 to 10 days, I was in underground along with my wife, helped by Mr. Chakravarti, and then I came out, fought the case, won, and everything happened after that. So accept the odds, whatever is coming. But still I was working from there. Point is this, that accept the odds, whatever is coming in your life, and try to maneuver your day-to-day things accordingly. Don't get disheartened. Now this is the learning which I told you earlier, say almost 20-25 years back. Then this incident happened in Sudan, as because I went through various bad incidents or unwanted incidents in my life. It helped me to tackle the situation after 20-25 years in this place which I am talking to you, the incidents which I am talking to you. So students, my all-time advices are this, that accept the odds, don't get disheartened with any odds, keep your targets on, and you will definitely succeed. 99% people, I will tell, that get disturbed with any types of odds coming in your life, and 1% people might be tackling the way we had been tackling, and it will not give you any. If you are cool brain, if you know what you have to do, and if you are very sure that you will be able to tackle that situation, you will definitely succeed. That is the mantra. That is the mantra. Don't get deviated, don't get disturbed. And this is basically the things which happened to me in personal life, and which I want to share with you, so that you also become a bold and very reasonable person in your life. Finally, aim is that to keep yourself happy, to keep your family happy, to keep your near and dear ones happy, and that is the final aim. So like this, life proceeded, and there was war in that place where we were walking. There was a lot of things happening every day, and sometimes there were shootouts also on the roads. We had to be inside the road. So those things were the odd portions or the unwanted portions which we faced there. Gradually, it helped us to become a more mature person and a more reasonable person in the life. Finally, when I came back on 16, after a lot of these things, we completed the project, and there also we got a very good, send-off party from all the concerned government authorities of that country. They were very happy with us, with my organization, with my working, including our government also was very much happy. They gave a lot of appreciation letters, and it actually, finally, not money, but it gave me self-satisfaction that yes, in such a difficult place, in such a difficult situation, we could complete the project. It was a big project in a desert area, and a lot of problems were there, but let us not discuss all those problems. But we could get it, and today also I get call from those authorities that about the wonderful things which we could give from government of India to that government of the government of Sudan, and those authorities still appreciate the efforts. Till today, they call me and they tell that yes, whatever you have given us, we are surviving on that power, because it's an electricity, it's a power station. Power station basically delivers electricity, and electricity is, as you know, that industry, your house, your streets, everything gets lighted, everything needs power, and that power station was a big power station. It is capacity is 500 megawatt, we call it. We gave it to that country over a period of almost say 6-7 years, and ultimately it is running. Still today it is running, giving power to the country very successfully. Odds were there, problems were there, problems will be there, as I told you, but things can be done also under also this type of negative situations. Finally came back. Then I was almost in charge of more than 100 such power projects all over India, in India itself, all across India. And those there also, it is managing almost more than 100 this magnitude projects sitting in Delhi is a very difficult thing, because projects are projects. We call it in a project that going to the project and coming back to the project is the only common thing in everyday's life. Other what is happening in the 10 hours or 15 hours you're spending in the project will differ. Today something, tomorrow something, day after tomorrow is something. It is such dynamic situation. So dynamism of your mental orientation is very much required if you are working in a projects of this magnitude, such magnitude, big magnitude. And those I was doing. Finally in 2019, I superannuated. I retired from that organization, from the ministry, and I came back to Calcutta. When I came back to Calcutta in 2020 March, after 10 days, the lockdown of Corona started. And I was in big mess again, because after almost 20-25 years, I came back to my house, which was in Calcutta. Nothing was organized. Corona was not anticipated. Lockdown was not anticipated. And we were again in a big mess. So gradually that also was tackled. And you all are tackling that also, I know. And you are managing that, I know. But anyway, so whatever is coming tomorrow was not known at that time. And finally, we are settled. Now, I will say that there are some positive side also of this Corona, I mean to say. What is the positive side? Positive side is this, that I could get associated with this NIOS, what I was talking to you, that NIOS, I'm very happy to teach the students like you, which I was not doing earlier. Prior to Corona, I was teaching, but I was teaching to the corporate world. But your world is more interesting to me than the corporate world, let me tell you very frankly, because your world is more inquisitive, and it is a Delhi-based school. First day I told that in what language you want me to teach, Hindi or English? All the students very boldly said that we want you to teach in English. This just changed my attitude of the students, because as you know, Hindi is very popular in North India, especially in Delhi and all those areas, and most of the medium schools are Hindi medium schools. Hindi is more popular, whatever it is. It's our national language, that is different. Apart from that, medium is. But they boldly said, we want you to teach in English. I said, why? I asked why, because I said, I can teach you in Hindi or I can teach you in English. You tell me why. They said, we understand, the students, I mean, the students like you, they said, we understand that to further compete, to further compete in our exams, to further look out from the state for future, to join somewhere else or to work somewhere else, this language, we understand, is more required. My point is this: they were focused. Not talking about a language issue or something, but my point is that they were focused. Students, my message to you, you should be focused. What you want, spell out. What you want, do it. And there is no one in this world who can stop you. So I am right now in corporate training. I am right now in school coaching. I am right now also in some global consultancy. That's my professional life, but my passion is to this NIS and teaching students like you, which gives me maximum satisfaction, and I'm happy with that. So I think I would like to end my sort of lecture like this. You tell me that what you have learned from my talks. You tell me that what you want to know from me, means knowing my past life, my career, and my present life. I leave it to you to ask me questions, and I will be happy to answer to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rana. There are about 35 to 40 students, listening to you.
Great.
Yes, yes. And meanwhile, after you started speaking, 15 minutes later, Kalpana joined us. Kalpana is the head of the academic administration of Parikrma Humanity Foundation.
Okay.
And she missed the introduction, but I think she has got the gist of your message. But let me tell you, Rana, before I ask Kalpana to say anything, and the students, of course, I have spent so many years with you in Sudan, but I didn't know many things about you. Like I thought you were an electrical engineer. I didn't know that you had studied mechanical.
I was mechanical.
Number one. Yeah, but after mechanical, you started a career in electrical, right?
Yeah.
But of course, but in your role, there is no specific discipline. I mean, everything is involved. It's engineering, power projects. Then I didn't know that you were born in Andaman Nicobar Islands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you did not share with me. Yeah, that I didn't know. And I also didn't know that, like you had a choice of either starting a job in BHEL or going in for postgraduate at IIT Kharagpur. That also was something very interesting. So you took up that. But the messages that you have given the students, I just want, in case I miss out any, you please let me know. The one takeaway for all the students is that all professions are equally respectable, right? You don't have to be an engineer or a doctor, all professions, but you have to see where you fit in, your passion, so that, and you have stuck to one company for 38 plus years, but at the same time, you are open to others who hop and browse and, and look for better opportunities. So there is no hard and fast rule that you have to be one company person, or you can keep changing for betterment. So then you have to establish your own life with your own choice, but you have to be focused on what you want to do, right? So if there is anything else, just let me know. Now I hand over to, oh yes, by the way, let me tell you something. uh, what I know about Rana Basu is that he single-handedly, I mean, of course, he had about more than 1,000 people working with you for that 500 megawatts thermal power plant in Sudan, which is providing electricity power to Sudan. By the way, these children, they know quite a lot about Sudan, you know.
I
So
see.
yeah, yeah. But I know I was there personally with you. The president of Sudan, the then president of Sudan, personally came and congratulated you for your achievement, your
Yeah,
accomplishment.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah, that time you were representing Indian government,
Yeah, yeah.
so you sort of overcame all challenges and finally achieved success. So
Yeah.
that was a great success story. That's why I wanted you to. Oh, by the way, I also didn't know that you started teaching students of NIOS, because
Yeah.
here are some students who are doing NIOS.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Now for that, I over to Kalpana.
Okay.
Kalpana is the head of the academic administration.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm a
Hello.
part
Yeah.
of Parikrma. Thank you, Mr. Basu. I've been listening with rapt attention to all that you've been saying. My apologies for logging in late. I traveled from Janaga, that's the school in Bangalore South, to my house, which is in Bangalore North. And once I came, I couldn't connect to the internet, and lots of excuses, but I should have been on time. My apologies. I know it was an electrifying surprise for Bhaskar to know that you were an mechanical engineer and not an electrical engineer, right? Yeah, but for me, the electrifying surprise was that, when I heard you speaking about NIOS, I was so glad, bells rang in my head, because we do have NIOS over here in Parikrma. In fact, we began last year.
I see.
And we're trying to, I mean, like I always tell the children, just another degree is of no use. You need to have lots of skills. We are looking out for, not we, the country needs skills, right? If you're
Yeah.
going to do your degree, do it, but simultaneously see what are the skills you can take on. So when you spoke about NIOS, I was really thrilled, because after the session is over, and whenever Bhaskar is able to put together another session for us to meet, I would like to talk to you about NIOS.
Please, please.
Right, and I've been listening, to your escapades. I love adventure, and I know that the day it must have not been adventurous for you while you were kidnapped. Okay, but I thought it was so dramatic and very brave of you to have withstood your ground over there. But my question to you at that point of time, and I wanted to ask, I know the children also will have questions, was like, did you experience fear? You were much younger then, right?
Yeah.
At that point of time, were your loyalties torn between your duty to the government and also your own survival? Because in the face of adversity, everyone begins to think of, themselves. That was one question I wanted to ask you, Mr. Basu.
Okay. I would like to tell you that I actually, perhaps you have missed that before that I was in Northeast. Northeast means remote Northeast of India, where at that time great political unrest and commotions were going on.
Yeah.
In fact, my work was making me more seasoned. There, one incident happened. I didn't share with the people. Why I wanted to share with students is this, that my purpose was this, that something very odd things can happen tomorrow which you don't know today. Number one,
You have no control over.
you don't have any control. But
Right.
We as a project people basically get trained up or basically get seasoned to such incidents. Number one. So whenever we get a signal, when we start such projects, in fact, such things happened in Sudan also, but let me not share. But we get a signal that when you are going to face such incidents, so get yourself mentally prepared to face it. I
there's a
cannot be
kind of
disloyal to my government. I cannot be disloyal to the organization because I
right,
have been placed there to do my work.
right,
So I have to do my work by hook or by crook. That is my mission. Sort of, it's a mission. And when there is a mission like Kargil war, you have to win. That's all. And how you are winning, that is your strategy. So you decide your strategy and win. So we were habituated in facing such incidents. I'm not telling that we don't know. I was getting signal that I'm going to face such thing very soon. Somebody will come and somebody will lift me. I knew it because he has to put his conditions.
right.
Similar things happen in with me in Northeast also, but it was a different incident. I don't want to take much of time, but we normally get answer to your question, and we normally are seasoned player to tackle such incidents
Yeah.
because when you are in projects, you should be prepared to face such
Right.
things.
See, I asked that question because Mr. Basu, like all these kids here are all teenagers, right?
Yeah.
So when faced with, I mean, it could be different kinds of adverse situations that the children, like teenagers,
Yes.
face. So at
Yes.
that point of time, sometimes children begin to think that the easy way out is flight,
Yes.
right? Because they do not have either the courage or the means to fight. Both are
Yes.
equally important, right?
Yes.
You may have
Yes.
the courage, but no means to fight. You need the backup. So the
Yes.
easiest way is flight, which could mean flight in different ways. It could either be giving up your life, or it could be, just turning around the corner and running away. So what?
Correct.
Yeah. So what would be your advice to the teenagers that are over here? Facing adverse situations is reality,
Yeah.
right?
I told them, Kalpanaji already
Mm,
that accept the odds.
mm,
Don't run away from this scenario
mm.
because odds will be coming, and it will come throughout our life. And
Right.
whoever is sitting for everyone,
Mm,
nobody is running, having a cakewalk. So it
mm,
is not possible for anybody's wife. But depending on the adversity, you decide how to complete your mission. Whatever is your mission. If today my mission is to go for a higher study, if today my mission is to score a good marks in class 10 board exams, if today my mission is to succeed in some subject which I like, so do it. Don't run away from the scenario. Don't run away from the platform. Accept the odds. You may be having some problems. I had some problem in my career or during my education also, but it doesn't mean that people has to run away from that situation. So my advice to all of you students, that don't run away from the situation. uh, Decide what you want to do, fix your target, achieve your target. Only ways to achieve the target, you have to decide. You consult your seniors, consult your family members, and go ahead. That's all. Don't deviate from your target. And
right.
I want all of you to succeed and excel also in your life, because that's finally counts. That finally makes sense.
And
When you're
talking to
having good mentors like Kalpanaji, so everything will happen. I know. Yeah, please.
so talking to someone does help, right?
Of course, of course,
Hmm.
of course. And it helps, it motivates. Like whatever I said everything from my practical life,
Hmm.
which I have faced. And if the students have heard, they have heard patiently something, definitely they are getting motivation. I know that you are having some, you might be having some problems, but your problems you can always tackle. But fix your aim, target, achieve it. Possible.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Basu. I know that the students have got questions for you. Yeah, y'all can go ahead, children, one by one. Just introduce yourself and
Yes,
then
please.
ask your question. Bhavya?
Yes, Akka.
Yeah, go
Good
ahead.
evening. Good evening, Anna. This is Bhavya
Great.
here. Um, I heard throughout the session you spoke about all those difficulties which you faced during your when you were working. So, in spite of all these difficulties, how did you make your mindset to achieve whatever you wanted to? Can you please tell few things about that which will also help me to achieve my goals?
Very good question. Very good question, because it suits to my life. See, you have to, basically, you have to decide that what you want to do. Suppose you have decided that at that point of time, let me talk about your studies. You have decided that you will you go for a higher studies. Suppose higher studies in your own area. Suppose you have constraints. You can have constraints. You can have financial constraints. You can have family constraints. You can have so many constraints. Everybody's having. It's nothing new in your life. You have to weigh. You know a weighing machine? Weighing machine where we purchase potato, onion from the market, and they put one side the onion, potato, and the other side they put a weight, 1 kilo or 2 kilo, whatever it is. You have to weigh your taking that decision at that point of time, that if I take this decision, how the other side is going to get affected. Means that whether you will be able to solve your problems. Suppose financial problem, which many of us face in our day-to-day life for our higher education. Everybody faces. I also face. Now, if I can apply for a scholarship, if I get the, I'm giving you the options, just examples I'm giving. How you will weigh? You will weigh, suppose at that point of time, if I excel, I can apply for my scholarships. If I get the scholarships, one way is the solution is that I can achieve it. Second, which people do in the foreign countries. I work as well as I study. So I solve my financial issue partly by working. I'm not telling you all to work, but I'm telling these are the solutions available to tackle that problem. Third option, I leave it. I don't go for it. Fourth option, okay, I go up to a certain extent of my higher education and then I switch on to the job to earn to support my family. So you weigh that this decision, how it is going to, which other 4 options you are going to put on the other side of your weighing machine, and whichever is giving you more weight, go for it. Very easy solution. I used to do like this. Go with 4 or 5 solutions. Think in yourself. You have the solutions in your mind for your particular target. You know what is the, because you are 9th, 10th, you are gradually going to be in higher class, you are gradually going to be matured in your age, you have the solutions in your mind. And your people are having most of the solutions, I know, better than me, because your brains are more faster, your brains are more dynamic. So you weigh those solutions, whichever suits you, go for it. Very simple. It may not be 100% to your aim, but it may be some percentage of your aim. Hope I have answered your question.
There's always hope.
Thank you
Right?
so much, Rana.
Yeah.
There's always hope. And would you say that there is always, you can strike a balance between, like you spoke about the weighing machine, you can also strike a balance, right? You might want to do your studies and also do your, take up a job. That also is possible. So you are kind of supplementing your own, this one. But a certain amount of basic skills are required.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, children, before the next question, I want everyone to please come on video mode. I'd like to take a picture, please. Rakshita? Everyone please come on video mode. Okay, yeah. Next question, Amoga Varsha.
Yes, Akka. Good evening, Anna. I wanted to ask that in Sudan, Anna, you said there was a little bit of communication issue. So that how did you overcome it, Anna?
See, I purchased a book of translation. I purchased. I started just talking with any people. Either in the best place is to talk not with your professional people, because they will be using a professional language. So best way is to talk to your person who is working with you, or in the marketplace, go and buy a kilo of aloo, and you know that how to communicate, because he will not understand English, whatever you say. So there you have to use his language. So you go to the most odd locations and try to learn the best of it. You know, I am telling you, Mr. Chakravarti knows much better than me the Arabic language, because his profession actually made him, I know his profession made him more mature to learn that language. Otherwise, he cannot run his profession in whatever profession he was. Now, my point is this, that go to the odd locations and go to some people who doesn't know anything, and you talk. You have to talk in their language. So that way I started learning, and somehow we could get started the communication. That was the thing.
Rana, today I have to share with you.
Yeah.
I had a private tutor coming to teach me every day Arabic.
That's not really.
Yeah. He taught me for 3 months. After that, he gave up or not, I don't know. But actually, I tried to learn the script, the classical Arabic, reading and writing. There was this Arabic book for foreigners. Yeah.
So now there are a lot of means, Amagya, that even if you want to translate in any language, you can go to the browser mode, you can go to the internet, you type that I want to know this language, and you get that language, and you can learn by yourself if you are having interest. Now, I have come across, coming to language, I have come across many people. I have come across one ambassador of India who is very famous. His name is Ambassador Deepak Bora. He is still working in many fields. He was a master of language, because I asked him, sir, how you know so many languages? He said, I have a knack. So my point is this, that you should also have a knack. You should, time and again, that to learn anything. Let us not talk about language, anything. You should have a passion, you should have a knack. Then automatically it helps you 50% ahead of your goal. You are 50% achieved. That is very, very important for all of you.
Right. The next question, who's this chat? I can't see. Go ahead, Juno, I can't see your name. Yeah, Divya. Go ahead, Divya.
Yeah, Divya had her hand up. Divya. Yeah, okay.
You have a network issue, Divya. Unmute and try, dear, or you can also type it in the chat column.
Can you hear
Can I
Anna?
speak now? Yeah, we can. Go ahead.
Good evening, Anna. This is Divya. I have a question for you. My question was, what was your biggest fear? Did you accept your fear or just let it?
Can you please repeat?
What was your biggest fear? Did you accept your fear?
Did you accept your
fear?
Did you accept your fear?
Okay, yeah. See, fear is such a thing that if you accept, you are going to fail. Fear is such a thing that you should never accept. If accept means that if I was under fear, then I will say that I was not under fear, because if I was under fear, my mission or my target, I will miss, I am sure. So you have to be strategic. What the word we use is that strategic. Depending on the situation, instead of getting fear, instead of getting afraid of the situation, you tackle the situation in such a way within your capacity to achieve that target. Target is very, very important for any situation. There are many incidents I can tell you where, because we are having short of time, there are many incidents which I can tell you where if I were under fear, I would have been finished on the same day. I'm not telling finish means my life is finished. I'm talking about that I would have finished my career, I would have finished my aim, I would have finished my target or achievement of anything. So never accept the fear. There is a song of Rabindranath Tagore that if nobody is there with you, just you proceed alone. Don't expect every time you will get a lot of supports, Don't expect that every time you will get a lot of people to advise you, to support you. Whenever you're in problem, you might find in your life that there is nobody with you. It might also happen like that. So when you are in that place also, don't get afraid. You think that, see, point is this, that in science, you are learning energy. You are learning energy. There is a word called energy. And energy, our great Einstein, our scientist, he has developed a formula of energy is equal to mc square. Perhaps you have learned that also, you are going to learn. That energy in the world is constant. Some energy is in the form of light, some energy is in the form of water, some energy is in the form of many forms, and much of energy is in your own body. Your own body, your own soul is also a storage of energy. And you can convert that energy from one form to another form. That is science. I am not talking about any this type of like priest or something like that. That is science. And you can convert your energy. If you're having a target fixed, you can convert your body energy to achieve that target. If you are in fear, you are demoting your energy level of your body. That's science.
So we have time for just two last questions.
Yes.
By the way, I forgot to mention that Rana and is a very good singer, by the way. Rana and both his wife.
Chalo?
Yeah.
He was referring to Ekta Chalo, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe at the end, we will have a mini concert by Mr. Rana.
No, I am no old person.
So what? Music has got no age. It's not defined by age. Okay, two more questions. Yeah, who was that? I thought it was Rakshita. And Jayashri. Yes, Jayashri, go ahead.
Yeah.
Good evening, Anna. My name is Jayashri. Did you face any discrimination from your family or society while pursuing your goals?
What do you mean by discrimination? May I ask you? What do you mean actually? If you can little bit elaborate your question. You mean to say any barrier? You mean to say any objection or something like that?
Yes, Anna. Yes, Anna.
Okay. Not really. Not really, because my target of career, my target of education, I decided itself in class 9, because I was a national scholar. So up to my graduation, my education was free by Government of India, excepting for my hostel charges and other things. So my parents were knowing, or my family means my parents were knowing that this guy is. They were observant, of course. All parents are observant to our children, that what you are doing, your parents or your family members are watching you. So when they find that yes, you are always targeted and you are going ahead in a good way, so automatically there should not be any objection, number one, or obstruction. And I told you that that selection of your stream or selection of your education, this thing is on your passion, on your knack. And today's world, it is more open, rather. In our time, it was little bit congested or little bit prejudiced, but today it is more open. Suppose somebody's son, one of our very established friend's son, who is in US, and Mr. Chakravarti knows him, his son is a boxer, professional boxer in US. Okay. So I asked once upon a time that your son is going for a boxing. See, he was a very rich person and he could have done anything for his son by spending a lot of money. He said that this is his passion, and I am observing this since his childhood. So I never objected him, and today he's means fighting in many rings all over US, and he's very established boxer. I know today. No, what I mean to say, that is the passion. Established. Earning is there, no problem. But something should not happen which you are actually, you are going against your family members. I told you the family members are always observant. So if you have to respect them. You have to respect them, obviously. But when you are doing something good, they will also give you equal love and respect. That is what I mean to say. So objection or obstruction didn't come in my life. Okay, once it came when I was going to Sudan. My mother was very much worried because the scenario or the things were expressed in the media, in the news, was not very convenient. So naturally, any parent is always worried about their children. That was the time where I was little bit dubious mind, but I could convince. So sometimes you have to convince also with a convincing power that what you are doing is good for everyone, sometimes good for nation also. They understand. So obstruction might come, but you have to also maneuver your obstruction. I'm not telling that an obstruction will not come, but you should convince also your seniors.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was the last question. All right, because I know your data packs are. You have one more question. Who's that? Quickly.
Hi, this is me, Rakshita. Oh, okay, continue this.
Yeah, go ahead, Rakshita, quickly.
No, yeah, who? Rakshita or Vidyashri? Both want to say. Both
Okay,
want to
both
ask.
I would like to ask the question that if there are two things which you have to balance, and now you have to stand for one thing, you will do that, Anna?
Of course, I told you that you have to weigh, and finally Kalpana ji also said that you have to balance. So two things come. One will be more weight, so you have to compromise to balance it. Basically, suppose if you want to buy a potato of 1 kilo and he puts a weight of 1 kilo on one side, and he gives, you find that there is one extra potato than 1 kilo. So you have to decide whether you will take that extra potato or extra potato not. Why? Because you will decide whether you are having, say, 1 kilo potato is 10 rupees, you are having 10 rupees in your pocket, or you are having 11 rupees. So at that time, suppose if you are having 10 rupees, you should not take, you will not take, or you cannot take that one extra potato, right? So basically it is something like that. So balancing is also required depending on the situation.
Thank you. Vidyashri, last question.
Yeah, please.
Anna, what motivated you when you were in struggle, Anna?
The only motivation factor with me was my target, that what I want to do, mission. See, the army, when they go for a war, their mission is very, very clear, what they want to do. And to do it, the motivation is that I have to do it. So that is finally which matters. Suppose somebody is going for a war, our army people when going for it is not very smooth thing. No, it is not so that they will go and win and come back. They know that they have to climb a hill, or they know they have to cross a jungle. They know there will be a lot of obstruction. They know there will be a lot of bombardments. There will be a lot of killings. He may die also. But as he knows that he has to, his mission is very clear that he has to do this, so he proceeds. So right from the beginning, I'm telling you that you fix up your target, and mission, when is decided what you want to do, that is the achievement, you will succeed. So that was my motivation. That's all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Children, yeah, we've got to end this session. On a last this thing I'd like to say, when we talk about balance, how do you balance? You have debating class, you have just about 45 minutes or 1 hour left. So you save your data pack to come to Bhaskarana's class, no? You're doing the balancing there. Similarly, you also have to find ways to balance. Okay, nothing will be handed to us on a platter. We have to work. Even the opportunity to attend a class like this, you have to earn that opportunity. Opportunity is given, but you see, like some students are not on video mode. We can understand you're trying to save that data pack. That's why you don't want to be on video mode, right? The opportunity is present there for all. How you make best use of that opportunity, and what are the means you will make, what are the sacrifices you will do, or what are the adjustments you will do to get this opportunity, to make the best of this opportunity, will define you, what happens to you later on in life, right? Would you agree with me, Mr. Rana?
Yes, of course.
Begins right when you're at this age. The very
Yes.
reason why we have people like Mr. Rana and all coming to talk to, all of you, is to help you find out.
Yes.
Nobody's journey has been easy, whether it is
Yes.
Bhaskar or mine, or
Yes.
Rana Anna's, everyone's journey, because we too were all teenagers like you once upon a time.
Yes.
We went through trials by fire, right? So before you know it, it is, but you make the best of whatever you have.
Yes.
Miracles happen, but that's a bonus.
Yes.
Right? You need to make out your own plan, and you chart, you plan out the course of your life and see where all you get help. All right. How is this going to help? Do you think Mr. Rana's talk is going to help now? Anna reached somewhere, like he spoke, right? Now he's doing NIOS. He worked in Sudan. He was, the executive director at BHEL. He's been there, but it wasn't easy for him. He too made a lot of sacrifices. He too decided. He went. Everyone can't decide things for you. You have to decide for yourself. That's what Anna mentioned, right? You have to decide for yourself. Is this right for me? Wrong for me? You will make errors and you will learn through your mistakes.
Yes.
Okay, but it helps to have people like Rana Anna, to have people like Bhaskar Anna, to come and share their experiences, because we learn from each other's experiences. That's why we have history, now. Otherwise, there was no need for history at all. Okay, right. So thank you so much, Mr. Rana, for doing this for us. We really appreciate you taking your time off. And Bhaskar, again, a big thanks for all the wonderful things, opportunities you keep thinking up for our students.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and if sometime, if we are able to fix up a meeting with Mr. Rana for NIS, I'd be very grateful. Anytime is okay with me. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Right, Rana, thank you. Thank you very much.
So
Thank you. I'm very happy to take this particular session. Wish you all the best, all the students, and just gear yourself up for your best and give your best, fix your target. You will be able to do it. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right.
Let's have a round.
I hope Lata's done the recording.
Yes, it
so
has
that
been
we can-
recorded.
Okay,
It has
okay,
been
fine.
recorded, and we'll share
will-
it with
yeah.
Mr. Rana too. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Okay then.
Bye.
Thank you. Big round of
Thank you,
applause
Anna.
to this
Bye,
one.
Anna.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Bhaskar.
Welcome. Okay then. Bye.
Sign out, children. I'll be the last one to go.
Bye, Akka.
Bye. Thank you, Anita.
Akka.
Suhan, Deepika, Lokeshwari. Ashwini. Why are you still logged on? Switched off the video and went to play. Lokeshwari, Ashwini, Suhan. Ashwini and Lokeshwari. Which school is Lokeshwari from? Log out, please. Whew.